Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard this morning as we get set up for the Tampa Bay Lightning game at 2 p.m. A weird start time on a Saturday on the East Coast, but for the Edmonton Oilers, a game that means just the same. So friends, what do we know? Well, Connor Brown is set to return to the Oilers lineup. It will be game number 10 for him, thus enacting his 3.225 bonus to get him whole for his contract. And at the end of the day, what does that mean to us as well? That means that Connor Brown will be charging us a whole lot of money against the salary cap next year. We'll talk about that in a matter of moments, friends. But if you are new to the channel right now, I need you to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. That'd be greatly appreciated. This whole Oilers things keep getting crazier and crazier, so you want to be sure to catch more and more as we go along this season. Okay, so Connor Brown, big salary cap number, right? It's going to be ugly. It's applied to the cap next year. So here's where things get really messy for the Oilers. If Connor Brown doesn't give you enough value this season, which a lot of Edmonton Oilers fans through his first few games would argue he hasn't, plus you still have Jack Campbell on the books next year, you've got a lot tied up in really cap space that is doing you no good. The Oilers have done very well over the past little bit here, moving on from cap space that was just costing them money for nothing. And now all of a sudden we could very well next season be once again in the same situation we have been for the past several years. The salary cap, however, to everybody's surprise, is actually expected to rise by multi-million-dollar figures this summer, I guess would be the correct term. So this summer, the salary caps were set to rise, I think, anywhere between $2.5 to $4.5 million at last. We've had minimal increases over the past 5 years, but I think now we're almost set to finally see it rise close to 90 million. That will obviously offset some of this blow from Connor Brown. However, if you only get 2.5, it's not going to allow you to do anything. You need to at least capture that whole Connor Brown number in the cap raise just to be able to go somewhere with the cap next season. So for the Edmonton Oilers, this is another situation where it was a big risk, it's a big chance taken, and so far I'd say 90% of Oilers fans think it hasn't paid off and it won't pay off. So today is a big game, not necessarily to watch Connor Brown score 3 goals, but more or less to see Connor Brown give us something more than he has to say why he deserves that 3.225 raise, other than being Connor McDavid's buddy from junior and also another player that Chris Knobloch has coached at some point in his career. So right now, friends, it's going to be interesting to see, right? Is for the Edmonton Oilers, Connor Brown's not been a very liked player in his first few games, and now he's got an entire season, as long as he doesn't get injured, to prove himself. But again, this was something we talked about late last year in March. I think it was Patrick that had the video up on the Oilers Fanatic while we were up in Cold Lake talking about, well, you could do Max Pacioretty or Connor Brown. And right now we've got Connor Brown thanks to this weird cap manipulation thing you can do with the overage bonuses for next year. And now he's got a runway of about 60 games to try and make it pay off here for the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see what happens here, friends. But again, weird times in Edmonton. Obviously, we've been through the grinder to start. And from everything I've seen from practice the past few days, it looks like Connor Brown might actually start on the top line with Connor McDavid tonight. I guess we'll find out as Raphael Lavoie and Sam Gagner. That's going to be the roster decision up front. Desharnais and Broberg, that's going to be the roster decision on the back end. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I am up on Oda here.